Jisoo stood at the back of the classroom, her eyes fixed on the floor. It was her third day at New Seoul Academy, and already she hated it. The teacher, Mr. Doyoon, was introducing her to the class. "Everyone, please welcome our new student, Han Jisoo. She comes to us from Earth Central." The room filled with whispers and snickers. Jisoo knew what they were thinking. Earth Central was considered a backwater, a planet of primitives. Humans were rare in this part of space, especially at elite schools like this one. "Take a seat, Jisoo," Mr. Doyoon said, pointing to an empty desk near the window. As Jisoo walked down the aisle, a foot shot out. She saw it coming but pretended not to. She let herself trip, falling forward and spilling her tablet and books onto the floor. More laughter filled the room. "Oops," said a voice. "Human reflexes are so slow." Jisoo looked up to see a boy with pale blue skin and silver eyes grinning at her. Taeho was a Novan, one of the superior species, as they liked to remind everyone. He was surrounded by his two friends, Jun and Eun, who were also Novans. "That's enough, Taeho," Mr. Doyoon said, but there was little force behind his words. Jisoo gathered her things and sat down. She kept her face blank, showing no anger or shame. She had learned long ago how to hide her feelings. "Today we will continue our study of the Galactic Unification Wars," Mr. Doyoon said, activating the holographic display. A map of 17 star systems appeared above their heads. Jisoo's hand tightened around her stylus. She forced herself to relax. Those wars had ended 2 years ago. They were just history to these students. None of them knew what it was really like. None of them knew what she had done. The turning point came when the Hegemony Empire lost control of the Antares sector, Mr. Doyoon explained. Their defeat was sudden and unexpected. Many historians still debate how the resistance managed such a victory. Jisoo stared out the window, trying to block out the memories that threatened to surface. The sound of explosions, the feel of a weapon in her hand, the weight of responsibility as soldiers followed her orders. A message flashed on her tablet. Asterisk, do humans even have brain implants? Or do you use those primitive verbal communication devices? Asterisk. It was from Taeho. Jisoo ignored it. Another message appeared. Asterisk, maybe she can't read. I heard humans still use paper books. Asterisk. Giggles came from behind her. Jisoo kept her eyes forward. When class ended, Jisoo gathered her things quickly. She needed to get out before. Hey, Earth Girl, Taeho called, stepping in front of her. I have a question about humans. Jisoo waited, saying nothing. Is it true that humans have to sleep for 8 hours every cycle? How do you get anything done? Some of us sleep less, Jisoo said quietly. And you can't regrow limbs. So if I cut off your arm? Taeho made a slicing motion. Leave her alone, a soft voice said. Jisoo turned to see her roommate, Minji, standing nearby. Minji was an Altarian, with silvery skin and large almond-shaped eyes. She was the only person who had shown Jisoo any kindness. The Altarian speaks, Taeho said in mock surprise. I thought your kind avoided conflict. And I thought Novans were supposed to be civilized, Minji replied. Taeho's eyes narrowed. Be careful who you defend, Star Eyes. Humans brought nothing but trouble to this galaxy. He looked at Jisoo. Their planet is barely habitable. Their technology is centuries behind ours, and yet they think they can join our schools and compete with us. Jisoo felt a familiar heat rising within her, the urge to fight back, to show him just what this human could do. She pushed it down. That wasn't who she was supposed to be anymore. Come on, Jisoo, Minji said, taking her arm. We'll be late for physical training. Physical training was even worse. The gym was designed for species with enhanced abilities. The gravity settings, the equipment, everything favored the non-humans. Today we test reflexes and combat awareness, announced Mr. Hwan, the training instructor. Jisoo's heart sank. This would be difficult to fake. Han Jisoo, you're with Taeho, Mr. Huan said. Tahoe smiled, his silver eyes gleaming. Try not to break, human. They stood on the training mat. A series of light drones hovered around them, programmed to fire harmless but painful stinging bolts. The goal was to dodge or deflect as many as possible. Begin, Mr. Huan said. The drones started firing. Tahoe moved with incredible speed, dodging each bolt with graceful ease. Jisoo moved much more slowly, letting several bolts hit her. She flinched at each sting, though she had endured far worse pain. Pathetic, Tahoe laughed. One drone fired directly at Jisoo's face. Pure instinct took over. Her hand snapped up with lightning speed, catching the bolt just inches from her eye. Jisoo woke up screaming. The nightmare had returned. Minji was beside her bed in an instant, her silvery skin glowing softly in the dark room. You were calling out for someone named Junwoo, Minji said. Jisoo wiped cold sweat from her forehead. Just a bad dream. She glanced at the time display. 3:15 a.m. Sorry I woke you. I don't need much sleep, Minji said, sitting on the edge of the bed. Do you want to talk about it? Jisoo shook her head. How could she explain that Junwoo wasn't just a dream? That he had been real, with warm brown eyes and a smile that made her feel safe in a galaxy at war. I'm going for a walk, Jisoo said, pulling on her jacket. The school hallways were empty and dim. Jisoo walked without direction, letting her feet carry her. She found herself in the Memorial Garden, a quiet place with plants from 100 worlds. In the center stood a stone monument to those lost in the Galactic Unification Wars. Jisoo touched the cold stone. So many names missing. So many who died without recognition. The memories came flooding back. Asterisk 2 years earlier. Resistance base. Cygnus Ivy asterisk. This plan is madness, General Yoon said, staring at the 15-year-old girl across the table. You want us to attack the hegemony capital directly. Not attack, Jisoo said. Infiltrate. Their shields are strongest against outside threats. But what if the threat comes from within? The war room fell silent. 20 resistance leaders from 17 systems watched as Jisoo, known to them only as Sunfire, moved holographic ships around the display. Emperor Kangho believes humans are weak. He won't expect this. Jisoo looked at each face. We've lost 3 systems in 2 months. If we don't act now, there won't be a resistance left to fight. A tall boy stepped forward. Junwoo, her tactical partner. At 17, he was already a brilliant strategist. I've checked her calculations, he said. The plan can work. General Yoon frowned. Even if it does, who will lead this suicide mission? I will, Jisoo said, with a small team. Junwoo, 3 tech specialists, and 2 combat veterans. The room erupted in arguments. Jisoo waited for them to quiet. You know why the Emperor fears humans, she said softly. Not because we're strong or fast, but because we endure. We survive. We hope. That's what he can't control. 3 days later, their ship, disguised as a hegemony supply vessel, approached the capital world of Nova Prime. Jisoo closed her eyes, feeling the ghost of Junwoo's hand in hers. Their last moment together before everything went wrong. Before the ambush. Before she watched him die to buy her time to complete the mission. You shouldn't be out after curfew. Jisoo spun around. Mr. Doyoon stood a few meters away, watching her. I couldn't sleep, she said. He walked closer, studying her face. You look at this memorial differently than other students. Not with curiosity, but with recognition. Jisoo said nothing. How old are you? Han Jisoo. 17. So you would have been 15 when the war ended. Mr. Doyoon touched the memorial. When the mysterious resistance operative called Sunfire led the mission that brought down Emperor Kangho's shield network and allowed the Alliance fleet to enter the system. Jisoo's heart pounded. She kept her face blank. I don't know much about history. No. Mr. Doyoon smiled slightly. That's strange. Because your record from Earth Central shows excellent grades in historical studies. I should go back to my room, Jisoo said. Of course. Mr. Doyoon stepped aside. But Jisoo, if you ever want to talk about your nightmares, my office is always open. She hurried away, mind racing. He knew something, or suspected. She needed to be more careful. When Jisoo returned to her room, Minji was awake, reading. Feel better? She asked. Not really. Jisoo sat on her bed. Minji, what do you know about the war? The real story, not what they teach in class. Minji set down her tablet. My older sister was a medical worker on Altair when the hegemony attacked. She told me things. She paused. She told me about a human girl who appeared out of nowhere and organized the evacuation that saved thousands. The girl moved differently than normal humans. Faster, smarter. Some thought she wasn't fully human. What happened to the girl? Jisoo asked quietly. No one knows. After the war, she disappeared. Minji looked directly at Jisoo. Some say Emperor Kangho's son, Prince Sungmin, still hunts for her. They say he blames her for his father's death. Jisoo's hand moved unconsciously to her side, where a long scar ran across her ribs, a parting gift from the Emperor himself. Why are you asking about this? Minji said. Before Jisoo could answer, their door chimed. It was after midnight. No one should be visiting. The school's main hall buzzed with excitement. Students gathered around a large screen displaying a bright announcement. Annual Combat Tournament. All species welcome. Jisoo stood at the back, arms crossed. The tournament was the biggest event of the year at New Seoul Academy. Each student would compete in hand-to-hand combat, showing off their species' natural abilities. Are you entering? Minji appeared beside her. No, Jisoo said quickly. Why would I? Taho pushed through the crowd toward them. Look who it is. The human who can barely dodge a training drone. He smirked at Jisoo. Don't worry. Humans can watch from the sidelines. It's safer that way. His friends laughed. Jisoo said nothing, but her fingers curled into fists at her sides. Everyone must participate, a voice said behind them. Mr. Doyoon approached, eyeing Jisoo. It's part of your physical training grade. But sir, Jisoo protested, humans are at a disadvantage against other species. Are they? Mr. Doyoon raised an eyebrow. How interesting that you think so, Jisoo. I've known some very capable humans. He walked away, leaving Jisoo uneasy. Mr. Doyoon seemed to see right through her act. That afternoon, during combat class, students practiced for the tournament. Jisoo moved slowly, pretending to struggle with basic moves. She felt Mr. Doyoon watching her. Han Jisoo, he called out. Stay after class. When the others left, Mr. Doyoon led Jisoo to a private training room. Show me what you can really do, he said. I don't understand, Jisoo said. Mr. Doyoon sighed. I reviewed the security footage from your first day. The drone that fired at your face, your reaction time was faster than any human I've ever seen. Except one. Jisoo's pulse quickened. It was luck. Was it? Mr. Doyoon pressed a button on his wrist device. A hologram appeared, a grainy image of a young girl leading a group through a burning building. Though the quality was poor, the girl's movements were unmistakable. Precise. Efficient. Like Jisoo's. This was taken during the liberation of Altair, Mr. Doyoon said. The girl had no name, but the resistance called her Sunfire. Jisoo stepped back. Why are you showing me this? Because, said a new voice, he thinks it's you. A woman entered the room. She was tall with dark eyes that seemed to miss nothing. Jisoo recognized her as Ms. Yona, the history teacher. We don't have much time, Ms. Yona said. The tournament begins tomorrow, and there will be government officials watching. If you compete as you are now, pretending to be weak, no one will notice you. But if you're forced to reveal your true abilities, I don't know what you're talking about, Jisoo insisted. Ms. Yona and Mr. Doyoon exchanged looks. The message you received last night wasn't from us, Ms. Yona said. Someone else knows who you are. Someone dangerous. Jisoo froze. How do you know about the message? Because we've been protecting you since you arrived, Mr. Doyoon said. We were part of the resistance too. Jisoo studied their faces, searching for lies. Finding none, she asked. What do you want from me? Nothing, Ms. Yona said. We want to keep you safe. Sunfire's mission saved millions, including my family on Altair. That person is gone, Jisoo said quietly. She died with Junwoo and the others. Perhaps, Mr. Doyoon said, but someone doesn't think so. And they're here, at this school. The next morning, the tournament began. Students from all grades filled the arena. Jisoo stood among them, heart racing. She had decided to lose her first match quickly, without drawing attention. First match, announced the head judge. Han Jisoo versus Tao. The crowd murmured. Humans rarely lasted more than a minute against Novans. Tahoe stepped into the ring, grinning. Try not to cry when I beat you, human. Jisoo entered the ring slowly. She had a plan. Take one hit, fall down, and stay down. Begin, the judge called. Tahoe moved with blinding speed, aiming a strike at Jisoo's head. She prepared to let it connect, to fall and end this quickly. But just before Tahoe reached her, she saw something in his eyes, not just confidence, but cruelty. Something inside her snapped. Without thinking, Jisoo sidestepped. Her body moved on pure instinct, not the clumsy steps of a normal human, but the perfect, fluid motion of a trained fighter. Tahoe's momentum carried him past her. Jisoo's hand shot out, grabbing his arm. In one smooth movement, she flipped him over her shoulder. The entire arena went silent. Jisoo stood frozen, realizing what she had done. That wasn't a normal move. It was a special counter technique taught only to elite resistance fighters. Tahoe got up slowly, staring at her with wide eyes. How did you do that? The school was in lockdown. Students huddled in the main hall while security teams swept the building. Jisoo sat with Minji, keeping her back to the wall and her eyes on all entrances. Old habits. What's happening? Minji whispered. I don't know, Jisoo said, but she had her suspicions. The timing was too perfect. The school director stood on a platform. Everyone stay calm. We had an unauthorized entry at the east gate. As a precaution, classes are canceled for today. Whispers spread through the crowd. School security was supposed to be unbreakable. This is about you, isn't it? Minji asked. Jisoo didn't answer. She was watching the security personnel. Something about their movements seemed off, too stiff, too coordinated, like soldiers, not school guards. The next day, classes resumed. Jisoo entered the science lab, still on edge. Students turned to stare as she walked in. News of her surprising match against Tahoe had spread. We have a new student joining us today, the teacher announced. Please welcome Hyun. A boy with an easy smile stepped forward. He looked human, with dark hair and warm brown eyes. Jisoo felt a jolt. For a moment, he reminded her of Junwoo. Hello, Hyun said. I'm happy to be here. You can sit next to Jisoo, the teacher said, pointing. As Han sat beside her, he smiled. You're human too. That's rare here. Jisoo nodded but said little. New students right after a security breach. Too convenient. Throughout the day, Hyun stayed close to Jisoo. He was friendly and funny, asking about her life on Earth. Jisoo gave short answers, revealing nothing important. But Hyun was persistent. By the end of the week, he had somehow become part of her small circle. Even Minji seemed to like him. He's not so bad, Minji said as they watched Hyun charm a group of students in the dining hall. He showed up right after the security breach. Jisoo said, Don't you find that strange? Maybe. But he's the first person besides me who's been nice to you. That was true. And despite her suspicions, Jisoo found herself enjoying Hyun's company. He made her laugh, something she hadn't done since before the war. One evening, Jisoo was studying in the library when a news alert flashed across the screens. Hegemony loyalistes, Regurobe. Prince Sungmin vows to restore his father's empire. The report showed images of protest rallies on several worlds. Prince Sungmin, tall and severe like his father, spoke to cheering crowds. The so-called peace is built on lies, he said. We will take back what is ours. Jisoo stared at the screen, a cold feeling spreading through her chest. She had hoped this was over. Scary stuff, right? Jisoo spun around. Hyun stood behind her, watching the news. I didn't hear you approach, Jisoo said. No one snuck up on her. No one. I moved quietly, Hyun said with a shrug. What do you think about this Prince Sungmin? I don't think about him at all, Jisoo lied. Hyun sat beside her. My parents died during the war, he said quietly. Resistance fighters killed them. At least, that's what I was told. Jisoo tensed. I'm sorry. Are you? Hyun's voice had changed, becoming harder. Do you really care about the casualties of your war, Sunfire? Jisoo's blood froze. She kept her face blank. My name is Jisoo. I don't know what you're talking about. Hyun leaned closer. I saw you fight Taeho. Normal humans don't move like that. You're mistaken. Am I? Hyun rolled up his sleeve, revealing a tattoo. The mark of the Children of Hegemony, a youth group loyal to Emperor Kangho. My parents served the Emperor. I joined when I was 10. Jisoo calculated the distance to the door, mapping her escape route. Hyun saw her planning and smiled. Don't worry. I'm not here to hurt you. Then why are you here? Before Hyun could answer, an explosion rocked the building. The lights went out. That's the East Wing, Hyun said, suddenly alert. The dorms. Jisoo was already running. Minji was in their room. Smoke filled the hallways. Students ran in panic. Jisoo moved against the flow, pushing toward the dorms. Mr. Do-yoon appeared, grabbing her arm. Jisoo, it's not safe. Minji's in there. Jisoo pulled away. This isn't an accident, Mr. Do-yoon said urgently. They're creating a distraction. Who? Hegemony Special Forces. They breached the school during the tournament. They've been hiding, waiting for the right moment. Mr. Do-yoon looked over her shoulder. Where's the new boy? Hyun. He knows who I am, Jisoo said. We need to get you out now. Mr. Do-yoon pulled her toward a side exit. Ms. Yeomna has a ship ready. I'm not leaving without Minji. A second explosion shook the building. Part of the ceiling collapsed, separating Jisoo from Mr. Do-yoon. Jisoo woke with a pounding head. She was in a small room, her hands bound with energy cuffs. Through a small window, she could see stars. They were on a ship. She's awake, a voice said. Jisoo turned to see Taeho sitting across from her, also bound. His face was bruised. What happened? Jisoo asked. Why are you here? I tried to stop them from taking you, Taeho said. They knocked me out and brought me to. Jisoo studied him, surprised. You tried to help me. Why? Taeho looked away. I don't know. Maybe because I saw the fear in your eyes. I've never seen you afraid before. Before Jisoo could respond, the door slid open. Hyun entered, followed by 2 armed guards. The human is finally awake, Hyun said. Good. We're approaching the rendezvous point. Where are you taking us? Jisoo demanded. Prince Sungmin is eager to meet the famous Sunfire. Hyun smiled coldly. The human girl who brought down his father's empire. Taeho stared at Jisoo. Is it true? Are you really Sunfire? Jisoo said nothing, but her silence was answer enough. She's a war criminal, Hyun said to Taeho. She killed thousands. That's a lie, Jisoo said, finally breaking her silence. We targeted military installations, not civilians. unlike your emperor, who destroyed entire planets that refused to bow to him. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. Alarms blared. What's happening? Hyun snapped at one of the guards. We're under attack. The guard replied, checking his comm device. It's a school shuttle. Hope flared in Jisoo's chest. Her friends had come for her. Hyun cursed. Stay here, he ordered the guards. If she tries anything, shoot her. He ran from the room. The ship rocked again. The lights flickered. The guards looked nervous. Jisoo caught Taho's eye and nodded slightly toward the guard nearest him. Taho gave a tiny nod back. I feel sick, Taho groaned suddenly, doubling over. The guard stepped closer. Sit up, Novin. When the guard was close enough, Jisoo sprang into action. Despite her bound hands, she launched herself forward, wrapping her cuffs around the second guard's neck. At the same time, Taho headbutted his guard in the stomach. The ship jolted again, throwing everyone off balance. Jisoo used the moment to grab a weapon from the fallen guard. She fired at her cuffs, breaking them, then freed Taho. We need to find the escape pods, she said. They ran into the corridor. Emergency lights flashed red. Crew members rushed about, ignoring the escaped prisoners in the chaos. This way, Taho said, pointing to a sign that read emergency evacuation. As they turned a corner, they came face to face with Hyun. He held a blaster. Going somewhere, Sunfire? He asked, aiming at Jisoo's heart. Why are you doing this? Jisoo asked. The war is over. Not for those of us who lost everything. Hyun's hand shook slightly. Do you even remember Novus Prime? The resistance attack on the capital city? Jisoo's breath caught. That wasn't supposed to happen. Someone betrayed us. My family was there. Hyun shouted. I watched them die when your bombs fell. I'm sorry for your loss. Jisoo said quietly. But I didn't order that attack. We were set up. Another explosion rocked the ship. The lights went out completely. In the darkness, Jisoo moved. She knocked the blaster from Hyun's hand and pinned him against the wall. I could kill you right now, she whispered. But that's not who I am. That's not who Sunfire was. When the emergency lights came back on, Hyun stared at her in confusion. You're letting me go. I'm giving you a choice, Jisoo said. Keep hating, or help us stop this ship from falling apart. The ship lurched violently. A voice came over the speakers. Hull breach in Section 7. All crew to evacuation stations. We need to move, Taho urged. Jisoo released Hyun. Are you coming? For a moment, Hyun hesitated. Then he pointed down a corridor. The main escape pod is that way. I can override the launch sequence. They ran through the failing ship. Crew members were abandoning their posts. When they reached the escape pod bay, they found it crowded with panicking hegemony soldiers. There she is, one shouted, spotting Jisoo. The human. Get to the pod. Hyun told Jisoo and Taho. I'll hold them off. Why help us now? Jisoo asked. Hyun pulled up his sleeve, revealing a second tattoo beneath the hegemony mark, the symbol of the resistance. I was on Novus Prime, he said, but I wasn't the son of Imperial officers. I was a child slave in the mining colony. During the chaos of the attack, a resistance fighter freed us. His eyes locked with Jisoo's, a human girl who moved like lightning. She told me to run and never look back. Jisoo stared at him, memories flooding back. There had been children in the mines. She had broken protocol to save them. The escape pod drifted through space. Inside, Jisoo examined the data chip Hyun had given her. She needed a reader to see what was on it. How long until someone finds us? Taho asked, looking out at the endless stars. The pod sent a distress signal. Jisoo said, if the school shuttle is still out there, they'll pick it up. Taho watched her work with the pod systems. Her movements were quick and sure, nothing like the clumsy human she had pretended to be at school. You're really her, he said. Sunfire, the one who brought down the hegemony. Jisoo glanced up. I was part of a team. We all played our roles. But you led them, Tahoe pressed. You were just a human girl. Being human doesn't make me weak, Jisoo said. That's what the Emperor thought too. It was his mistake. A light blinked on the control panel. A ship was approaching. Is it the school shuttle? Tahoe asked. Jisoo checked the scanner. Yes, we're safe. Hours later, they were back at New Seoul Academy. The school was still in chaos from the attack, but the worst damage had been contained. Jisoo was taken directly to Ms. Yona's office, where Mr. Do-yoon was waiting. You're alive, Ms. Yona said, relief in her voice. When the hegemony ship jumped to hyperspace, we feared the worst. Hyun helped us escape, Jisoo said. He gave me this. She held up the data chip. Ms. Yona took it and inserted it into a secure reader. Files appeared on the screen. Blueprints, medical records, training protocols. What is all this? Mr. Do-yoon asked, studying the files. Hyun said Prince Sungmin is building something worse than his father's army, Jisoo explained. Ms. Yona's face grew pale as she read. Project Revival, she said. The prince is using advanced mind conditioning on young people, creating sleeper agents loyal to the hegemony. Sleeper agents? Jisoo asked. Like spies. Worse, Ms. Yona said. People who don't know they're agents until they're activated by a specific trigger. Then they follow their programming without question. A chill ran down Jisoo's spine. Why would he do this? Because open warfare failed, Mr. Do-yoon said grimly. This way, he can place his people in key positions throughout the galaxy. When the time is right, he activates them all at once. Ms. Yona continued scrolling through the files. According to this, the prince already has agents in place, including... She stopped, her eyes widening. Including what? Jisoo pressed. Including this school, Ms. Yona whispered. Some of our students have been conditioned. Jisoo thought of the strange security forces during the lockdown, how they moved like soldiers. The guards, she said. They've been replaced. Not just guards, Ms. Yona said. Students too. Mr. Do-yoon looked at the list of names on the screen. No, he breathed. It can't be. Jisoo looked over his shoulder. One name stood out. Tahoe. That's impossible, Jisoo said. He helped me escape. He fought against the hegemony soldiers. Because he wasn't activated, Ms. Yona explained. According to these files, each sleeper agent has a unique trigger, a phrase, an image, even a sound pattern. Jisoo remembered how Tahoe had come to find her during the attack, how he'd known exactly where the armed men were. Had it been a coincidence? I need to talk to him, Jisoo said, moving toward the door. Wait, Ms. Yona called. There's more. The files say there's a primary target of the school, someone the prince wants eliminated. She looked directly at Jisoo. You. Jisoo wasn't surprised. I destroyed his father's empire. Of course he wants revenge. It's not just revenge, Mr. Do-yoon said, reading further. It's about stopping you from doing it again. The prince believes you'll lead another revolution. I'm just trying to live a normal life, Jisoo protested. Ms. Yona's expression was sad. People like you don't get normal lives, Jisoo. Your mind, your abilities, they're too valuable. Where is Tahoe now? Mr. Do-yoon asked suddenly. I left him in the medical bay, Jisoo said. Why? Mr. Do-yoon was already moving. If he's been conditioned, he might not have control over his actions. We need to secure him before. An alarm blared through the school. Red emergency lights flashed. What now? Jisoo asked. The door burst open. Minji stood there, breathing hard. Jisoo, you're alive. She ran forward, hugging her friend. I was so worried. I'm okay, Jisoo assured her. What's happening? Someone attacked the medical bay, Minji said. 3 students are injured. And Tahoe is missing. Jisoo turned to Ms. Yona. We need to find him. If he's been conditioned, he might hurt others. Or himself. It's too dangerous, Ms. Yona argued. You're the target. Mr. Doyoon nodded slowly. We'll help you find him, but we do this carefully. If the prince has sleeper agents in the school, we can't trust anyone. Night fell over New Seoul Academy. Jisoo, Minji, Ms. Yona, and Mr. Doyoon searched the empty halls for Taho. We should split up, Jisoo suggested. We'll cover more ground. Too dangerous, Ms. Yona said. We stay together. They had reached the basement level where the school kept its old records. The lights were dim here, casting long shadows. Why would Taho come down here? Minji wondered. If his conditioning was activated, he might be following programmed instructions, Mr. Doyoon explained. Places he wouldn't normally go. Jisoo stopped suddenly. Listen. In the silence, they heard it. A faint tapping sound coming from behind a heavy metal door marked HFY. That's odd, Ms. Yona said. That room should be locked. Jisoo approached carefully. She pressed her ear against the door. The tapping continued, rhythmic, deliberate. It's a code, she realized. Resistance emergency code. She tapped back a response. The door cracked open. Taho peered out, his face streaked with sweat. You came, he whispered. I wasn't sure if you'd understand the signal. You remember the resistance codes? Jisoo asked, confused. Not exactly. Taho opened the door wider. But I found someone who does. Inside the archive room, an older man sat at a desk covered with old papers. He looked up as they entered. Director Kim, Ms. Yona gasped. What are you doing here? The school director smiled grimly. Waiting for you, General Yona. Jisoo looked between them. General. Ms. Yona straightened her posture. A long time ago, during the war. Director Kim gestured to the chairs around his desk. Please, sit. We don't have much time. As they settled, he turned to Jisoo. So you're Sunfire. I've waited 2 years to meet you. You know who I am? Jisoo asked. I helped create this school to find you. Director Kim said, this isn't just an academy. It's a sanctuary built by both former resistance leaders and reformed hegemony officials who wanted peace. Reformed hegemony officials. Jisoo repeated in disbelief. Why would they help? Not everyone in the empire agreed with Emperor Kangho. Director Kim explained. Many saw his cruelty and wanted change. After his fall, they reached out to us. But Prince Sungmin has infiltrated the school, Taho said, his voice strained. He's been conditioning students, including me. How did you break free? Mr. Doyoon asked. Taho touched his temple. I didn't, not completely. I can feel it in my head, like a voice telling me to hurt Jisoo. But I'm fighting it. Director Kim nodded. The conditioning isn't perfect. Strong wills can resist, at least temporarily. Why me? Taho asked. Why did they choose me? Because you were cruel to Jisoo. Director Kim said simply. The prince's agents look for students who already show negative feelings toward their targets. It makes the conditioning easier. Jisoo remembered all the times Taho had bullied her. The bullying was part of their plan. To isolate me? Yes, Ms. Yona said, while they assessed whether you were truly Sunfire. Jisoo felt sick. All this time, she thought she was hiding, but she had been watched, tested. How many students have been conditioned? Minji asked. Too many, Director Kim said gravely. And tomorrow is Foundation Day. Jisoo froze. The ceremony. Everyone will be there. It's the perfect opportunity, Mr. Doyoon realized. Activate all the sleeper agents at once, in a public setting. Director Kim nodded. Prince Sungmin himself will be attending as an honored guest. We have to stop it, Jisoo said. Cancel the ceremony. If we do, he'll simply try again elsewhere, Director Kim argued. This may be our only chance to catch him. and end this. How? Minji asked. We don't even know how he activates the conditioning. Tahoe spoke up. I think I do. During combat training, our instructors played certain sound patterns. They called it focus music, but it made me feel strange, like my thoughts weren't my own. Director Kim turned to his computer. If we could analyze that sound pattern, perhaps we could create a counter-signal. The data chip, Jisoo remembered. Han said the prince was building something worse than his father's army. This must be it, an army of sleeper agents placed throughout the galaxy. While everyone thought the war was over, Ms. Yona said bitterly, he was just changing tactics. Director Kim studied Jisoo. Do you know why the prince fears you so much? Why you're his primary target? Jisoo shook her head. Because you represent hope, he said. When a human girl, the species the emperor considered weakest, brought down his empire, it inspired others. It showed that anyone could fight back. That's what makes you dangerous. Director Kim replied. Not your skills, but your determination. The prince knows that if you lead another revolution, people will follow. Morning came too quickly. Jisoo hadn't slept. She stood at the window of the archive room, watching students gather in the main courtyard for the Foundation Day ceremony. They had no idea of the danger. Are you ready? Minji asked, joining her at the window. Jisoo nodded. As ready as I'll ever be. Their plan was simple but dangerous. Director Kim would attend the ceremony as normal. Mr. Doyoon and Ms. Yona would position themselves near the exits. Jisoo, Minji, and Tahoe would access the school's communication system to broadcast the counter-signal if the prince tried to activate his sleeper agents. What if the counter-signal doesn't work? Tahoe asked. His face was pale. Fighting the conditioning was taking a toll on him. Then we go to Plan B, Jisoo said. We expose Prince Sungmin to everyone. We show them what he's doing to students, to children. They moved through hidden maintenance tunnels that ran beneath the school. Director Kim had given them access codes and maps. The tunnels were dusty and dark, but they allowed the group to move unseen. When they reached the communication center, they found it guarded by two men in school security uniforms. Hegemony agents, Minji whispered. Jisoo studied their positions. I'll handle this. Before the others could stop her, she stepped into view. Hey, she called out. Aren't you supposed to be at the ceremony? The guards turned, raising their weapons. When they saw Jisoo, their eyes widened in recognition. It's her, one said. The target. Jisoo didn't give them time to react. She moved with the speed and precision that had made Sunfire legendary. 2 quick strikes, and both guards were unconscious. I forget sometimes, Minji said it as they entered the communication center, that you're not just my quiet roommate. Jisoo allowed herself a small smile. I forget sometimes too. Tahoe took control of the system. I can access the main speakers from here. If the prince uses a sound pattern to trigger the conditioning, we can override it immediately. Jisoo connected her tablet to the system and loaded the counter signal from the data chip. Now we wait. On the screens, they could see the ceremony beginning. Students and teachers filled the courtyard. On a raised platform sat important officials, including Prince Sungmin himself, tall and severe like his father, with cold eyes that scanned the crowd. Director Kim gave his welcome speech, his voice steady despite the danger. New Seoul Academy was founded on the belief that different species, different worlds, could learn from each other, he said. Today, we celebrate 2 years of peace. Prince Sungmin's face showed no emotion, but Jisoo could see the tension in his shoulders. He was waiting for his moment. When Director Kim finished speaking, the prince rose to address the crowd. Peace, he said, his voice smooth, is a noble goal. But peace built on lies cannot last. He nodded to someone off stage. Music began to play, a strange, pulsing rhythm with tones that seemed to bypass the ears and go straight to the brain. Beside Jisoo, Tahoe groaned and clutched his head. It's starting, he gasped. The signal. On the screens, Jisoo saw students throughout the crowd stiffen. Their faces went blank. Even some teachers seemed affected. Now, Jisoo ordered. Tahoe hit the override, and the counter signal blasted through the speakers, a different pattern of sounds, designed to break the conditioning. For a moment, chaos erupted. Students collapsed or cried out, clutching their heads. Prince Sungmin looked around in confusion, then anger as he realized what was happening. It's working, Minji said. The counter signal is breaking the conditioning. But Prince Sungmin wasn't finished. He pulled out a small device and pressed a button. Armed guards rushed onto the stage. This academy is now under the control of the new hegemony, he announced. Anyone who resists will be eliminated. Jisoo knew she had to act. She grabbed the microphone. This is Sunfire, she said, her voice echoing across the courtyard. Yes, I'm real. And I'm here at New Seoul Academy. On the screens, she saw Prince Sungmin freeze. Prince Sungmin isn't here for peace, Jisoo continued. He's been experimenting on students, using mind conditioning to create sleeper agents. Look at the evidence. Tahoe uploaded the files from the data chip to the school's information network, making them available to everyone. Images and documents flashed on screens throughout the courtyard. He's been experimenting on children, Jisoo said, her voice growing stronger. Using you as weapons, just like his father used entire worlds. The explosion rocked the courtyard, but it wasn't as devastating as Jisoo had feared. The prince had detonated a smaller device, creating smoke and confusion rather than destruction. It was a diversion. Through the chaos, Jisoo saw Prince Sungmin and his guards running toward the landing pad where their ship waited. He's getting away, she shouted to Tahoe and Minji. Without hesitation, Jisoo sprinted after them. She was done hiding, done pretending to be less than she was. Today, she was Sunfire again. The smoke made it hard to see, but Jisoo didn't need her eyes. She had tracked targets through worse conditions during the war. She followed the sound of footsteps, the displacement of air. At the landing pad, Prince Sungmin turned, sensing someone behind him. His guards raised their weapons. Sunfire, the prince said, his voice cold. My father spoke of you before he died. The human girl who should have been impossible. Jisoo stopped a few meters away. It's over. Your plan has failed. The prince smiled thinly. One plan has failed. I have others. You'll never stop, will you? Jisoo realized, just like your father. The hegemony brought order to chaos. Prince Sungmin said, we united worlds that had been fighting for centuries. You enslaved them, Jisoo corrected. There's a difference. The prince studied her. What makes humans so special? You're physically weaker than most species. Your lives are shorter. Your technology was behind ours for centuries. Yet somehow, a human girl defeated the greatest empire the galaxy had ever seen. You still don't understand, Jisoo said. It was never about being special. She took a step closer, and the guards tensed. Humans aren't stronger or faster, Jisoo continued. But we know what it means to fall and get back up. To lose everything and still find hope. Your father thought that was weakness. It was actually our strength. Behind her, Jisoo heard footsteps. Tahoe, Minji, and others from the school had caught up. They stood behind her, a united front. The prince's eyes narrowed. So many speeches, so many brave words, but words won't save you this time. He pulled out a blaster and aimed it directly at Jisoo's heart. My father should have killed you when he had the chance, he said. He tried. Jisoo replied calmly, touching the scar on her side. He failed. The prince's finger tightened on the trigger. Jisoo prepared to move. But before either could act, something unexpected happened. One of the prince's own guards stepped forward, placing himself between Jisoo and the blaster. Enough, the guard said, removing his helmet. It was Hyun. You. Prince Sungmin gasped. How did you survive? The same way she did. Hyun said, nodding toward Jisoo. Determination. Other guards began removing their helmets too. To Jisoo's shock, they were all young, teenagers, barely older than herself. "What is this?" the prince demanded, backing away. "Your own sleeper agents," Hyun explained, "but not the ones you thought you controlled. These are the children Sunfire saved during the war. Children the Resistance has been protecting. Children who volunteered to infiltrate your forces." The prince looked around wildly, realizing he was surrounded. "You see," Hyun continued, "you tried to use children as weapons, but Sunfire taught us we could be more than that. We could choose our own path." The prince raised his blaster again, aiming at Jisoo with hatred in his eyes. "Then I'll finish this myself." Jisoo didn't flinch. "You can kill me, but you can't kill what I stand for. Others will rise. That's what humans do." The prince fired. But Taiho was faster. He threw himself forward, knocking the prince's arm upward. The shot went wild. In the confusion, Minji and the others moved in. Within moments, Prince Sungmin was disarmed and restrained. "It's over," Jisoo said quietly. "Really over this time." 3 months later, New Seoul Academy held another ceremony. This one was smaller, more subdued. Students gathered in the rebuilt courtyard to honor those who had helped expose Prince Sungmin's plot. Jisoo stood to the side, uncomfortable with the tension. She was back in her school uniform, trying to return to normal life. But things had changed. Taho approached her, no longer the bully he had once been. "The conditioning is completely gone now," he said. "The doctors say there's no trace left." "Good," Jisoo said. "How about the others?"